Yo, what is up guys? Boris here coming to you guys with a guide on a brand new game. This is Final Fantasy Dissidia Opera Omnia. It's a long name, but trust me, the game is awesome. My entire Discord is on the hype right now. And this is a brand new RPG. It's been out in JP for probably about a year or so, but the global version just dropped. And there are some really cool things about this game that I really enjoy. There's co-op, classic Final Fantasy characters. It's pretty much a traditional RPG, similar to what you would compare to maybe like a Final Fantasy X, where the action bar tells you which characters are going to attack next. And the cool thing about this game is that you don't pull for characters. You get all the characters through story mode, so you don't have to worry about pulling for your favorite character. You're going to be able to play as them. But what you do pull for are the weapons, and there are some really powerful weapons that you can get. Right now, there's currently guaranteed 5-star weapon banners, so it's a really awesome time to start. You get a lot of free jewels or gems. I'm not too sure what they're called, especially once you complete the first chapter. You're going to get a lot of multis in. So, in this video, guys, I'm going to be going over the top characters to pull their weapons for, because there's a lot of characters. I believe there's over 25 characters, and so which ones are the best ones? Which ones should you be leveling up and working on? So what I've done is I went ahead and pulled up the character info for some of the best characters in the game, and let's go ahead and get started with the first one, which is Van. Van is a really powerful character, probably the most powerful character right now, maybe besides Cloud. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but Van is just going to be your main damage dealer. This guy is really powerful. If you get the platinum sword on a reroll, I always go ahead and keep that account, because if you don't know, each of the legendary weapons gets an affinity for their respective characters. So if you get the platinum sword, you're going to be able to do really well in combat. He is primarily going to be the main damage dealer, and the thing that you can really look out for these type of characters is the fact that they do both brave attacks and HP attacks combined into one. That's really something to decide what makes it a character very powerful, offensive DPS character versus maybe a support character, or maybe just another character that's not going to be as good. So definitely, like I said, look out for Van. In my opinion, he's the number one. I will say this though, guys, there's going to be a round of buffs in the future. They're going to affect some characters and make them better than they were before. But Van, overall, good now. He's going to be very good later on. He's still one of the best characters on JP. Definitely recommend trying to get the platinum sword if you can. Next up, guys, we have Sessile. I'm not too sure how to say it, but it's an iconic figure from Final Fantasy series. He is pretty interesting. He's pretty interesting. I'm not gonna say he's one of the best characters, but he's definitely one of the better ones right now, at least in the beginning. One of the cool things is that he enters chase mode. So chase mode is an ability where you can do a lot of damage, and so he's one of the characters that actually has a valiant blow, which can actually make them enter chase mode. Overall, you know, he's just going to be sort of a powerful character, nothing too crazy, but maybe a nice support, maybe next to Van or maybe next to Cloud as another character, primarily because he does brave attacks as opposed to HP attacks. So he's going to be a pretty powerful brave attacker. I'd look out for maybe trying to get him and his weapon. Now, next up, guys, I want to talk about Cloud, because Cloud is very interesting. Now, right now, there is a banner where you get about a 30% chance to pull his weapon, and what it does is it actually gives you a chance of paralysis and increases the bravery damage done by cross slash. So it's a really good weapon. Cloud is very powerful in that he can actually do what is people calling stun lock, where you can paralyze the enemy, and then maybe you get a friend in co-op, another Cloud, and they can stun the enemy. You just continuously paralyze them. So he's very powerful, especially for co-op. And overall, he's just really good. Now, the thing that puts him over the edge right now is if you actually bought a first edition copy of the Dissidia NT fighting game, then you actually came with a code for the Buster Sword. Now, the Buster Sword is amazing. It's actually a higher tier of weapons than any other weapon you can get in the game. They're calling it, I think, a 35 CP weapon versus the 15 CP weapons that are available right now. The Buster Sword, if you can get your hands on that code, and I'm not gonna say everyone can get it because it's a really rare code. It's going for a good amount of money online. I don't even have the code. I want to get it though. And if you can get the code, then it's gonna make Cloud, in my opinion, the best character right now in the game. Now, that's gonna be on top of the fact that if you are able to limit break completely the current 15 CP weapon that Cloud has, then if you don't know, when you fully limit break a weapon, you can actually get its passive without having to equip it. So you can actually have the Buster Sword equipped, and you can have the passive from the other one, which actually, like I said earlier, does chance of paralysis, and so you can get stun lock going as well as with the Buster Sword. It's just going to be pretty crazy. Overall, I think he's going to be the best character right now if you can get the code. If you can't, he's still a really good character to go for. He's going to be really good for the beginning portion of the game, and probably going into late game, he'll still be very good. Now, next up, guys, we have Stola. I'm not too sure if I'm saying that correctly. Now, Stola is really interesting. This is one of the better support characters. The ability that she has is Stone, which I believe delays enemies for 1 turn, so that's really cool. And she's also a buffer. I mean, she's just a really good support unit. You can have your main DPS guy, your main damage dealer, maybe a tank, and then her. She can really do a lot in terms of supporting. So delaying, buffing, just overall a really solid unit. I think she's going to be really good. I think she has an ability called Medicara, which is, yeah, there she is. Yeah, that's what it is. So it increases the bravery. People are suggesting maybe saving it for after you pop your summon, and then you can do some pretty crazy. You're going to have some pretty crazy amount of bravery. So another character to look out for definitely is Stola. And finally, we have Warrior of Light. Now, Warrior of Light, he's the main tank unit. Really, really awesome. You pretty much start off with a good chance of getting his enhanced sword from the beginning ticket in the tutorial. So there's a good chance you already have his enhanced sword. And what he does is that he puts up pretty much a shield that prevents attacks from bravery. For the most part, it's going to be a good tank unit. You can also attack an enemy and then make them attack you. So he's just like overall a typical Final Fantasy tank. Could be very useful on certain teams and against certain raid bosses. Now, I'm going to talk about 2 characters that are going to be really good in the future once they get their proper buffs that they've gotten on JP. The first one being Terra. Now, Terra from Final Fantasy VI, she is on JP one of the best characters. They put it top 3 characters in the game. So if you have Terra right now and you manage to pull her weapon, I would definitely hold on to it, the Falchion. Definitely hold on to it. It's a great weapon. Do not disenchant it because Terra will be very good in the future. Right now, I'm not too sure how powerful she is, but again, just wait and hold on because she's going to be really good later on. And also Bart. Bart is the one that apparently gets a really, really good buff in the future. The fact that he lowers target's bravery by 25%, that means that against bosses in the future who are going to get stronger and stronger, this magic missile attack will actually scale with time. So the more bravery they have, the more bravery that you lower from them. So that's really, really awesome. Definitely keep Bart's around if you can. He gets a Choco Blade. I think I've pulled a few of those on my account. So definitely, again, Bart's another character to look out for. And finally, guys, I do want to mention that even if they're not on this list, some characters can still be really, really useful. Like, for instance, Yuna. Right now, she's not the best character, but her S-Yuna attack is really good against the Marlboros, who are the current sort of co-op raid bosses that are out at the moment. So even if a character is not the best character or is not top tier, doesn't mean they will not be useful in the future. Definitely try to keep an eye on all the characters, although I would recommend trying to focus on one of these characters that I listed in this video. So with that said, guys, let me know who else is playing Final Fantasy, Dissidia, Opera, Omni. Ooh, I got the name right. Let me know who's playing the game. Let me know if you guys were lucky enough to get the code for the Buster Sword. I'm going to be on the lookout for that. I might have to shell out a little bit of money for it, but I really want the Buster Sword. And overall, guys, just let me know what else you think. Maybe some other units that I missed down below. And with that, guys, thanks all for watching. Talk to you guys in the next video. And until then, peace.